Beloved, when we speak of restoring joy after pain, we are speaking of the very heartbeat of the gospel. The Bible is filled with promises that pain is not the end of the story, that sorrow is but a season, and joy is the inheritance of those who trust in the Lord. Psalm 35. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Nehemiah 8:10. Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. Isaiah 61:3. To bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning. John 16:22. So with you, now is your time of grief, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy. Psalm 126:5. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Jeremiah 31:13. I will turn their mourning into gladness. I will give them comfort and joy instead of sorrow. Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. 1 Peter 1:8. Though you have not seen him, you love him. You are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy. Psalm 51:12. Restore to me the joy of your salvation and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. Revelation 21:4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. Now imagine yourself standing before a congregation, hearts heavy with the burdens of life, souls weary from battles fought in silence. The message you carry is not one of despair, but of hope. You begin by acknowledging the reality of pain. Pain is real, loss is real, betrayal, sickness, disappointment, they cut deep. But pain is not permanent. It is a passage, not a destination. And in that passage, God is at work. You remind them of David, who cried out in anguish, yet declared that joy would come in the morning. You speak of Job, who lost everything yet encountered restoration beyond imagination. You tell them of Jesus, who endured the cross, despising its shame, but for the joy set before him, he pressed on. Pain is the soil in which joy is planted, and when watered with faith, it blossoms into strength. As the minutes unfold, you weave stories of resilience. A mother who buried her child, yet found peace in the arms of Christ. A man who lost his livelihood, but discovered a deeper calling in service. You show them that joy is not the absence of pain, but the presence of God in the midst of it. Nehemiah's words echo, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Strength to rise when you feel crushed. Strength to sing when tears blur your vision. Strength to believe when circumstances scream otherwise. You pause, letting silence settle, then declare, joy is not stolen by pain, it is refined by it. You invite them to lift their eyes beyond the night, to the morning that surely comes. You remind them that Jesus promised a joy no one can take away. That joy is not fragile, not circumstantial, but eternal. It is anchored in salvation, in the assurance that God is faithful. As the speech deepens, you call them to action, to pray like David, restore to me the joy of your salvation, to trust like Paul, may the God of hope fill you with joy, to endure like Peter, though you do not see him, you are filled with glorious joy. You urge them to let go of ashes, for God has promised beauty, to release mourning, for he has given the oil of gladness, to believe that every tear sown will reap a harvest of joy. By the final moments, your words are no longer just spoken, they are felt. Hearts soften, tears fall, hope rises. You close with Revelation's promise. He will wipe every tear. And you assure them that the story of pain is rewritten by the hand of God into a testimony of joy. You leave them transformed, not because pain has vanished, but because they now see beyond it. They see the morning, they see the joy, they see the God who restores. To learn more on God's words and unlocking his promises, like, share, and subscribe to this channel.